Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Super Speed World Update, where we try to understand America before it changes the rules again. And ladies and gentlemen, today, the White House is not only lit up, but lit up dazzlingly with a shocking event. President Donald Trump has just signed a new executive order with the very modest title, Law and Order. That's right. Folks, while America was still struggling to figure out how to deal with inflation, borders, and even high-fried chicken prices, Mr. Trump stepped in to quell the chaos, not with sandwiches or tweets, but with a shower of extremely powerful executive orders. This new order promises to turn America's most peaceful towns into law fortresses, where if you walk the wrong way on the sidewalk, you could get a stern look from a robot cop to be funded by the new budget. Think you're in America in 2025? It's like stepping into a movie. RoboCop, Part 12. So in today's video, we're going to break it down. What's really in this order? Who's going to be happy? Who's going to be crying? And is America going to be a perfectly safe society? Or is it just a Netflix episode that's a little too intense? Buckle up, because the journey to the new Wild West begins now. So specifically, in this super executive order of Mr. Trump, how will America be transformed? Without making you search Google, we will quickly review, with a list that sounds like a prescription for a society that is coughing because of disorder. First, the police force will be given almost absolute power. Any officer who is sued for overreach in the line of duty, from now on, the federal government will stand by, legally protected. Simply put, if you used to be afraid of robbers on the street, now, you should be afraid of the uncles in blue uniforms. That's not all. Local agencies will be entitled to receive heavy military equipment, armored vehicles, surveillance drones, support weapons, next-generation bulletproof vests. Netizens commented, "So are the police patrolling or preparing to go to Iraq? Indeed, all that's missing is an Apache helicopter hovering over the roof of Walmart for a real Hollywood movie." Next, cities that declare themselves as sanctuary cities, that is, places that protect undocumented immigrants, will officially become public enemies. Mr. Trump warned, if anyone helps undocumented aliens, the federal government will bring lawsuits to your door. Finally, and perhaps most ambitiously, the order requires the U.S. Department of Justice to compile a national list of crime hotspots. Any area with high murder rates, drugs, violence will be prioritized for sweeps. It sounds very impressive, but many critics are worried. Watch out for some poor neighborhoods turning overnight into lightly militarized zones. So the big question is, why did President Trump suddenly press the Reserve Nation button with such a super powerful executive order? First, and not surprisingly, is the political ploy. The 2026 midterm elections are looming. Trump needs a theme that catches a lot of steam with hardcore voters. Law, security, and pushing back chaos. In the eyes of many supporters, this executive order transforms Trump from a business president to a national super cop, a move that not only pleases red states, but also sends a signal to moderate voters who are increasingly worried about security. Second, don't forget, America hasn't been very peaceful lately. From protests on college campuses to small-scale riots in major cities, Trump sees a golden opportunity. If chaos is the problem, I'm the solution. With this order, Trump isn't just promising order. He's sending a message to protesters. The rules of the game have changed. The police aren't just going to stand by. And the final reason, perhaps more personal, Donald Trump has long cultivated the image of a man of action, someone who is willing to say things others are afraid to say, do things others are afraid to do. Signing the Law and Order executive order helps him solidify his image. Tough on crime, uncompromising on unrest, not afraid to clash with the left-wing media or social activists. In short, ladies and gentlemen, this executive order is like picking up a sledgehammer to fix an alarm clock. Very impressive, very powerful, but also fraught with risks for the innocent people standing nearby. Immediately after the Law and Order executive order was signed into law, the reaction from American society exploded more strongly than the Black Friday sale. For a large number of people, especially in rural and suburban states, this executive order was considered the best news of the year. Many supporters stood in front of the interview camera and said classic lines such as, "We are tired of crime. Thank you, President Trump, for giving us back a good night's sleep." Yes, if a good night's sleep was measured by the number of armored vehicles driving by our house, then perhaps this year, many people would sleep like babies. On the other side, human rights organizations, civil society groups, and a host of Democratic politicians immediately raised the alarm. They said the order would increase police abuse, remove local checks and balances, cause serious injustices against minority communities. And so, if Mr. Trump wants to end protests, then, unfortunately, he has just fired the first shot of a summer that could be more brilliant than Coachella. Many major cities have declared, "We are not changing our sanctuary policies, we are not cooperating with ICE, and we are not letting the federal government control our local police like they are playing a game." Many Democratic-controlled states have even threatened to take the order to court. And as is often the case in American politics, if you can't convince each other with reason, then go to court is the familiar solution. In short, ladies and gentlemen, the Law and Order has not only created a political storm, it has also created a public earthquake. The question now is no longer who is right, who is wrong, but can America uphold the law without hurting itself, or is it entering a new era where order is bought with forced silence? Ladies and gentlemen, the Law and Order is more than just an executive order. It is a statement of Trump's vision for America, a strong, orderly America, but also one filled with controversy and challenges. Narrator, in a high-pitched, summing-up tone, this move may strengthen Trump's political power in the short term, but in the long term, will it actually bring security or just fuel division? Only time will tell. And yes, if America is an action movie, then clearly the sequel has just begun filming. If you found this video helpful, interesting, or simply hard to put down, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We will continue to update the hottest developments in U.S. politics, with a perspective that is both profound and equally interesting. Share the video so your friends don't get out of tune. Now, goodbye and see you in the next video.